Hello, big news! Anonymous payment protocol MantaPay is live on Calamari network, so let's send a private transactions of KMA and KSM on MantaPay and also check how the transactions show on Subscan Explorer. Manta announced the launch of MantaPay on Twitter, and yesterday also this giant squid program launched. The bottom line is you can now start transferring your tokens on Calamari anonymously, meaning you can preserve the privacy of your on-chain transactions. Currently, MantaPay supports private transacting of Calamari's native KMA, KSM and MOVR, and unfortunately MantaPay on Calamari is restricted for users from the US. Now let's head over to MantaPay at app.manta.network. Make sure here on the left Calamari network is selected and here connect your wallet. I tested the app with Talisman and Polkadot. Now very important step, you will need to connect your Manta signer to MantaPay by clicking on Connect Signer. If you don't have your Manta signer yet, you will need to install it on your computer. Click this link and from this link signer.manta.network you can download it. This Manta Signer is a desktop application that protects your transacting privacy using zero-knowledge proof. Manta Signer allows you to transfer and receive private assets, aka ZK assets. And in the future, Manta will release a new extension wallet which will have Manta Signer natively integrated. When installing Manta Signer, this notification might pop up, but it's okay. As you are creating a new wallet, you will need to set up a password for your Manta Signer and also a seed phrase will be generated, so write down both. Once installation is done, log in using your password, click Start and Manta Signer is ready to be used in the background. Now that my wallet and Manta Signer are connected to MantaPay, I'm ready to execute private transactions. So this is the UI for private transactions, super simple, clean, I love it. Still a little explanation might be helpful. Here select the token you want to privately transfer. As I said, currently KMA, KSM and MOVR are supported. I'll privately transfer KMA, let's say 200. So I'll be sending KMA from my public Calamari CryptoZilla account to my private Calamari address generated by Manta Signer. I click to private, sign the transaction on my Polkadot wallet, and now the transaction is complete. So what did I do here actually? My KMA balance on my public Calamari address decreased by those 200 KMA and my ZK KMA balance on my private Calamari address increased by those 200 KMA. I can now view the balance of all my ZK assets by clicking on this ZK address tab, and there it is, ZK KMA 200. So this is my zero-knowledge private Calamari address. I can copy the address and search it in Calamari Subscan Explorer, and of course the account was not found because it's private. Now let's see how this transaction shows on Subscan for my public Calamari address under transfers. Here is that transaction, 200 KMA sent to Model MantaPay account. So since those 200 ZK KMA are now hidden in my private Calamari address, I can privately send them to any public Calamari address I want, and once the tokens arrive, nobody will be able to find out which address the tokens were originally sent from. So now I have connected to MantaPay my another Calamari account .sama and my Manta Signer is still connected. I'll switch the transfer, so this time it's gonna be a transfer from my private address to my public address. So I'll transfer those 200 ZK KMA from my private Calamari address to my public Calamari account .sama. I click to public. Now because I'm transferring ZK KMA from my private address generated by Manta Signer, this authorized transaction window will pop up. I add my password and click authorize. The transaction will be processing, and now the transaction is completed. Just a small note here, after signing on my Manta Signer, I also had to sign the transaction using my Polkadot wallet. Now when I check my ZK KMA balance, I no more hold any ZK KMA. They were transferred to my public Calamari address to my .sama account. Again, I go to Subscan, search my recipient public Calamari address, and under transfers, I can see I've received 200 KMA from this Model MantaPay account, so the sender address is anonymous. So what this means is that the connection between my CryptoZilla account, which sent those 200 KMA, with my .sama account, which eventually received those 200 KMA, was hidden thanks to my private Calamari address, which served as a trustless mediator address in this transaction, providing privacy for my transaction. Now, if someone really cared to search my CryptoZilla account on Calamari Subscan and checked my transfers, nobody would be able to find out to which address I eventually sent those 200 KMA. And similarly, people who would search my .sum account on Subscan would only see that I have received 200 KMA, but again they would not see from which Calamari address those 200 KMA was sent. So this is how MantaPay will allow you to make your transactions anonymous and private. Essentially, MantaPay allows you to hide the address to which you are transferring, as well as to hide the address which originally sent you the tokens. Very cool stuff. Now, if you also wish to privately transfer your mover or KSM, first you will need to bridge them to Calamari network via HRMP channel. Click Bridge. I'll be transferring 0.3 KSM from Kusama network to Calamari. Click Submit and Sign. And now I hold 0.3 KSM on my public Calamari address, a smooth XYen transfer of KSM to Calamari via HRMP channel. The moment my ZK KSM balance on my private Calamari address is 0, so now I'll transfer my KSM from my public Calamari address to my private Calamari address. I click to private and sign with my Polkadot wallet. Once the transaction is complete, my ZK KSM balance is now 0.3. And now again I can anonymously transfer my ZK KSM to any public Calamari address I wish, and from there to any Kusama address. You can also use MantaPay for standard, non-anonymous transactions between your wallets. Simply select from public to public, add the recipient substrate address, click public transfer and sign. Alternatively, you can also send tokens from your private address to another private address by setting both addresses private. That way your transaction will become totally untraceable. Simply put, MantaPay very conveniently allows us to go private with our crypto transactions every time we need, simply by switching this button to private. This is nothing short of a game changer. So this is MantaPay. How you like it? I love it. Initially it might take a while to understand the process behind it, but I'm hoping this tutorial made it clear for you. This is a great achievement for Manta network and also a big moment for the whole Polkadot. Have fun with private transacting and let me know how this makes you feel about Manta network's future.